Alright, I'm back and deleting all single player saves. I'm gonna start on the center and see where it goes from there. I downloaded a bunch of mods that I'd like to add to the world, so we're gonna add that. I'll have them right here so we can go through them. Sorry if I sound a little robotic. I'm testing a new technique, and oh goodness, update is what I was looking for. Now we've got active mods, there we go, and I'm going to play on the center because it's the first world I ever really tried or thought about trying. Oh, hold on, mic issues. It's old, but it's good. Or sounding a little better. Nonetheless, I've got some water here today, as my mother recommended, and the birds are outside chirping and tweeting and whipping away, and so that means I'm ready to play and see where it goes. I might open my window just a little bit so I can hear him better. Ooh, messing up my wrist. Fell on the thing a few weeks ago and it's not been the same since. So I believe it won't take long. I wish we could do a goatee in this. I can get a cowboy stash, but they say no to the goatee. Here we are. Big guy. We're gonna go. I actually like Tropical Islands North because it had a pretty big or nice route to Argentavis'. And I know that I'm going to want to get one of those tamed, so I might actually spend the first, I'll say 60 levels until I get an RG saddle just on this island until I'm ready to get out, because I know there's metal up here and that's pretty much all I need. I wish I could do a mic check just to make sure I'm louder than the game, but I'll probably just go down to the game settings right here to my OBS settings and turn game capture down just a little more. Actually, I think I'll turn my volume down a little more because the music is very loud in general. I might turn this one up just a hair. That's a good idea. We're going next to him as well. Oh, he's almost got me. I hope he's gonna let me make it down the river line or ocean line. We can spend the next until I get done. Or until I tame a Pteranodon, I can spend all that time on the beach. That might be a nice way to go through the process. Hello, Mr. Tick Tick Weep. That's Tick. Oh goodness. Well, the raptor caught up with me. Tick saw it coming. That's Tick. Tick he's here. If I forget what I'm saying, he's reminding me. He goes tick, tick, tick whenever I start a new idea, and if I don't finish that idea out the best way I can, he goes weep. I don't know how to test it, but I'm sure if it goes down again, I'll let you know. Okay, there's a parasaur here, but I wish I could find a moss shop somewhere. But I will likely run into it in a bad sense of form. Oh, that's Tick. I just thought about eating Tick, and I don't know if that upset Tick, but they said it very well upset Tick. See, I even forgot his name. How rude am I? I apologize, Tick. I will try not to let it happen again, but they know me. I've got one of those human brains, so a whole bunch of backwards thinking when it comes to Tick and his friends. Oh goodness. I'm not gonna mention that. Oh, you know what? I will. I got scarred by a crow. He flashed me at the right angle, and yeah, I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to see it, but nonetheless, I'm scarred from it. Tick said, it's whatever. All right, Tick. Goodness. He just weeped because I went on a tangent to the side. Lost track of what I was doing. Or just going a little slowly. But here we are with the message. I don't know what the message is, but I'm trying. We've got something's coming to eat me right now, and I'm gonna make it down here. I will get... Oh, okay. I'm gonna get an axe and a spear crafted and then try and sit down a little base for a fireplace. And then maybe we'll get the parasaur first and then start trying to tame up a pteranodon. With this goal for now. Long time quit forgetting. Oh dang. And something's coming to eat me. He's getting chased by something. Can I go ahead and craft fiber and wood? They scared me away from my rock, sadly. We're gonna make it back to that. Oh dang. I thought that was a Moschops sound. I just saw him too. He's only a Phiomia. Parched once again. I heard these guys approaching. I was not out here. It was a defensive maneuver to convince them to get in my belly. Not taming that one. Although I probably should have. That's what Tick's saying. You know, I can hardly distinguish the game between the real birds. I might pop off a headphone just so I can hear a little better. So, you know, I don't think any of them are chicken or weeping outside. Or just chirping away. But I'm trying to tell if I can hear or not. And my dog is doing something she shouldn't. No. Oh, keeps getting on the bed. She's learning, but I suppose I've got some to learn too. She's testing me. I suppose it's a well way to travel. I can hardly run. I believe it's because I held Alt. That's not even it. Oh, I'm encumbered and I wasn't paying attention. Good thing we've got 4 of these to spend, but we're going to spend 3 there. So, thatch foundation, we're going to get a box. Oh, we're going to get a cyber structures box. I don't know what that does, but it does something important. It's a pteranodon here. Oh, and a car driving by. I'm saying stuff like I'm a robot. I'm not even trying to do an audio or anything. I don't know what to talk about. That's why right now. Maybe just the game and what I'm doing. A terrible job at playing the game as far as I'm concerned. I hope these reusable spears do not actually break, because that would be a little sucky, but I suppose it would still make sense to break. I wonder what that slipper sound is. I'm trying to think if it's whenever a Dilophosaur comes around or not. Is that a theory? Oh goodness. I'm gonna just go the other way because that thing's gonna tear me up. So, just, I'm gonna try and get up there. I don't know how to get up there. I think we run down and there's a beach either way. There probably has to be. It's a statistical likelihood, as a matter of fact. Oh, you know, I'll farm something here. Okay, I was thinking I could cut down a building mat and build up a little ladder. And I wonder if I can do that. I'm gonna do it. I'm absolutely gonna do it. If it can happen, it can happen. If it can't, oh well. I'm encumbered and overburdened. Oh goodness, this guy's gonna take me out of the world. I did not get him first. That's a sad occurrence, but I'll run my way back and I will endeavorously attempt to retrieve my body. But if we do it, we do it. And if we don't, we die. I suppose all this stuff I'm doing, I was mining too much and it didn't make it because I got a little too heavy and couldn't run from him. Well, I'll get back and I'm gonna build a foundation right there and then see if that works out. I'm gonna try and I'll just build a house, I guess, and then I want to build a ladder all the way up to the top, and I figure it's possible if it's not a silly thing, but I know it'll work. I see what you guys are doing out there. They're just ticking and weeping away once more. That's the thing that happened. That's the thing I love about them. They never stop ticking and weeping. Cause tick and weep, he's just the loudest one at this moment. He's right here by the window, letting me know what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong. Weep, oh, tick is weep. He just 2 different tones. He said I'm tick, but he weeps when he gets, I'll say, frustrated. Chick gets sad, actually. Sad or frustrated. Oh my goodness, is that how this goes? He said beep. Because these birds, through their long and short lifetimes, they have learned a lot and transferred a lot of messages. And sometimes D'Artagnan just needs a little help to speak out about what the message he's bringing to me is. And he said, that ain't it. Come on, hurry up. If you're speaking a lot of the times because of the past and the world around you, you sort of get to a point where you're not even speaking your own words anymore. Just to try and make some sense. But I suppose through the way of the world, how it has become twisted and, well, put in to a, I'll say, position of you always have to clarify just to make sure you're not offending anybody. Oh goodness, here we are. Meaning to drop a whole bunch of stuff from my inventory and I'm sidetracking. I've just got a lot of wood. We'll throw a little bit of this out. And then get some fiber. But you always have to find that way to work it around the bend before you can strike it again, rather than continuing to strike while the iron's hot. I suppose in the manners of speaking, because most things aren't understood anymore, including people. I suppose everyone's gone through a fair bit of that themselves, including I. But it's important to realize that no matter what, there's always that bang for going forward that you can find. Because if you pay attention to the things that matter most, you're not always going to be looking straight ahead or to the right or to the left like everyone else. You might be looking what's down. And everybody else will just say, people who don't have God to guide them in Christ as their cross to path over through this world, sometimes you have to look down to watch the narrowness and straight to follow the path, because as you know, and I'm just trying to make a little tiny connection there, because that's all the amount that matters. It's important to understand and pay attention to a broader hold of our everyday environment, whereas everything is being worked by God in your favor if you wake up and you put on your armor, as they say. But that really just means remember every day that when Jesus sent out his apostles in all different directions, and he told them, let you not be dismayed, shake off when you leave, shake the dust from your feet at the door, instead of stopping to wash your feet before you leave, I believe is how they did it. But just shake it off instead and walk on by if they don't wish to accept you, because it was a different time. as we're in somewhat similar times right now, you're gonna have to enter the world with a more fellowship approach to paying attention. Just like that dog barking 3 or 4 blocks over. I might be crazy, but I think he's my friend. And I know that there's this bird outside of my window, Tick. I don't know if he's still there, but I don't know how they do it, but these little creatures, just like that Triceratops, if he stays here, we're going to tame him, and we're going to tame him. And I have 2 Triceratopses. I'll do the boss fight on a Triceratops if I can tame those guys. I will do my best to tame those guys, because when you can go after nature and understand that we really are all connected on a deeper level than anyone could truly understand, maybe it's not so crazy that a few beings can talk to a few other beings because something needs to change. And however that's gonna work in the world from now on, or whenever it started on, and this started a long time ago, but now is when we could be doing it. Our journey becomes so much easier through the life of things, because it starts to become a dynamic in where you go out and you see something that's so unbelievably magnificent before you that it starts to change your whole perception of reality, and you start paying attention to the most minor details in whatever floats in front of your eye. Maybe even the smallest of all of the creatures, a little tiny fly coming up and communicating with you. It could just be gesturing, or he could just be stroking his wings for no reason. That bird outside, it's called a mourning dove, but I believe they prefer bird of kinship, because they just so happen to want to. And as you know, most creatures can pick up intentions from another very far away. I mean, humans do it all the time. We watch and we know if someone's good or bad when they're approaching. Our dogs do it. Birds do it to make sure they're safe, but maybe since God gave them wings, they're already all safe. Not all safe, but they can fly away at any moment, and that's why they don't get close to you, for most people. But they rather see that we're here to do something, and let's make it better, because God gave us hands instead of wings, so we can physically change. We're built in His image, so we can alter the world around us and manipulate our realities into being whatever we desire, and what we desire should be the the kingdom of God, because when you've lost something so valuable and dear to you, like these birds have, dealing with everything that goes on, more and more trees getting cut down, less birds everywhere to do, well, whatever they do. When they're supposed to help us communicate, because no matter what, you can sense someone's intention, and if everyone had a few birds over their shoulder at all times, maybe they'd have a much nicer perspective of looking at the world on things. Where if you don't pay attention, you sort of get lost doing God knows what. Yet if you had an actual connection to God, and I'm not saying that I do, but I think I truly have a gift from Him to have a connection with beings so intelligent as these birds. They prefer the avian council in my book, but there's dogs a part of it, and they like to bark quite a bit, but they only bark when they have a reason to, and I suppose that they're just talking to their birds. That's it, says one of them, I think. But I'm also probably a little crazy. And I don't think I am. And they don't think I should be discounting myself like that. But while they talk, they sort of send messages. I don't know. It's almost imperceptible to my ears, but it furthers my mind in thinking to a point where I can understand what's actually happening in my world around me. And when you start to go in depth with that focus, and you start to pay attention and listen to the words and the sounds around you, but you do it knowing that the sounds of most things and the visions from others that come across your eyes are meant to be an effect for you, as if it's going through your listening ears that you put on for God every day, so you could listen out to His every call. Because that's how it happens, even with people. And we're supposed to pay attention and listen to what our mother says, or what our neighbors say, or what everyone says, and then churn it out through our, we'll say, oh goodness me, I'm struggling over here, but I got that cleared and I've got some more wood. Or listen to just use our listening ears for God, really. That's what I do. And I start to realize that some things are coming over my left shoulder and some things are coming over my right shoulder. And it's rather important to distinguish where it's coming from. Then we all end up sharing one kind of mind. And when you're one-minded and not so sure that the other guy's the enemy, or knowing that the other guy's an enemy, but he's there for a reason, that's when you start to understand that not everything is done to hurt you, and not everything is done to help you, but rather everything is there for your help. And if you are a part of that noble and steadward community, you would be 10 times truer to the nature of the world around you, and you'd understand so dynamically how to integrate a further meaning of godliness, and that's just kindness, into your life. Because being kind is possibly the one thing you can be or do to be more Christ-like. And I say Christ-like because I'm sure he loved birds. I'm not saying that that's all you have to do to be like Christ or be anywhere near the radiance of his idea of how radiant we are supposed to be. I think too much of myself sometimes. I do it every day. But every day I'm humbled once more by my friends in the air and the ones on the ground. Dogs are my favorite. Oh, you know, cats. I don't know. I've been meaning to get a cat. I've asked the neighborhood to send one my way. Not the people, just the creatures. And I don't know. Maybe a cat will appear. That would be a lovely thing to see. But nonetheless, I suppose what I'm trying to say is it takes a village to move a mountain. And that village is right over your head and right in your ears as long as you're listening to it. But it comes so hard to believe that such easy or simple methods could come to benefit us. And when that's the case, and we're thinking with the mind that tells us what if instead of oh yeah, then in my eyes it seems like we've fallen to the adversary, who is ever so waiting just to catch our every breath. And I suppose if you're willing to look it approaches or we notice something, then, oh goodness, then our attention becomes much more, oh, I forgot what I was saying. So, I'm gonna just stop talking about that right now and try and get this store down. Goodness me. I was talking for so long about something and I just don't even know what I was talking about. You should remember you. Oh goodness, I'm getting broken into the wall. I need a new ditch wall. I'm hearing something, but that dog, he's barking and he's telling me to remember something, but I don't think I'm gonna remember it because that thought, it went away, and sometimes they do that. Sometimes they're just messing with you, but most of the time, I feel like everything happens for a reason, and the right people are drawn into the right stuff. It's sort of how if you got that friend, always ends up in bad places. It's because of the bad people around them. Sometimes you gotta take a look and realize that the world around might be the bad place. And the people around you might have been just the right type of people. That's my take on the matter, at least. And yeah, I know, I think a lot of random stuff that has not a lot of reliance to it, because I hardly know what I'm saying half the time. But at the end of the day, what I'm trying to mean is it takes more than just you. It takes everyone around you, and everyone around you only happens if you are ready and you're looking at everything through the eyes of God every day, because God gave us his very own eyes to see, and maybe they even have a little bit of spark behind them sometimes, and that's all you need to bring greatness into the world. gonna be able to place this, it seems. Maybe I can do this. Yeah, this will work. Oh shit. Alright, I think I'm gonna end it with that placement and go ahead go ahead and hop off down here. Unless I can place this. I'll place this like that. Alright, I think that looks like a nice enough thing. My wood pile is getting wet, so I gotta keep building the base, but not tonight, but or today, but I'll put on the fire, climb abroad, and sign off here. Thank you all very much for watching. I'd love to see some comments just to say hello, goodbye, and may God be with you. It means the same thing. Thank you very much, and I appreciate your attention. It's just time now.